So today I'm talking to Elena Smirnova from Dynamic Pixels about their new game Hello Neighbor. It's a first-person tactical thriller puzzler with a tricky self-studying AI according to their Kickstarter page, and it'll be available on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Elena, could you tell me a bit about the background of Hello Neighbor and where you're at so far with it?
Yeah, of course, sure. So, firstly, I'm very glad that you asked us to take part in this podcast. It's a great pleasure. And firstly, I think we should tell a little bit about the background of the company, so that there are some people who don't know who we are, what we are doing. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, good. So the company was founded more than 10 years ago in 2004 in Voronezh. It's not far away from Moscow, about 600 kilometers. And we started developing mobile games, first of all. And in 2006, we launched our first freemium G2Me game. It was called Aquaphone, and it was a success. We were the first company in Russian Federation to launch such kind of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, we have created more than 50 titles for iOS, Android, Bada, Tizen, Windows Phone, and of course Java feature phone.
Wow.
And yeah, it was long time ago. And our last project was. The last 2 years, we've been working with Aptalab, and we were creating My Omnom. This is Tamagotchi of the rope. Have you
Yeah.
played? Yeah, have you played
Yeah, I played
this?
Cut the Rope,
Yeah,
yeah.
this cute green monster. Yeah, and we were creating Tamagotchi for this company, and it was really great. It was a great experience. It was how to say, it was our biggest project for 3D, and we realized that we are ready for something bigger rather than just small platforms, and to create something more hardcore. And we decided to try ourselves on the PC market. And our game designer suddenly woke up with the idea of Hello Neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
And he just took a pencil and drew the main character, and we decided to create it, to do it. And we decided to make something new in mobile gaming, and we hope that we will be able to do that.
Yeah, no, I'd heard of Cut the Rope, and I did a bit of a look into that previous game you mentioned, My Omnom. So basically, that game was a Tamagotchi game, and for those people that don't know, a Tamagotchi game is like where you have a pet and you've got to take care of it. So in that game,
Yeah.
you're taking care of the main character from Cut the Rope, basically.
Yes.
That's pretty
So
cool. And so now you've moved across, you've done all of these mobile games, and now you're heading into doing PC and console. So that's usually something. It usually goes the other way around. People start with, say, PC and then sort of branch into mobile. What was the inspiration? I mean, were you just sort of bored of doing mobile games and thought, we really want to do something new and exciting in 3D?
yeah, it's kind of, we were getting bored, and we decided to make something bigger, much bigger, that it's impossible to do on mobile platforms. Although there are a lot of great devices on iOS and Android, but anyway, their screens very small. I mean, if we compare it to PC or your TV when you're playing some console games. And yes, maybe we got bored, and we felt that we have got expertise, we have got much experience, we know how to do great games, because we've been working with lots of various companies, leading companies such as Qualcomm Electronics, Samsung, Walt Disney. We created Chip and Dale game many years ago.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and we decided to try ourselves on new platform, on a bigger platform. And of course, it's new for us. It's challenging. It's very demanding. We don't know everything here. We don't have good audience here. But still, it's a dream. It's a dream of our team.
Yeah,
And we
no,
decided
it's
to fulfill it.
It sounds like
Yes.
that's what you should do. You should always chase your dreams. And yeah, what you were saying before about
Yes.
mobile doesn't necessarily lend itself well to doing first-person sort of tactical games. So I think you've made the right choice with, doing
Yes.
something on desktop and making it first-person. That it adds to the immersive feeling, so people can sit there in their room with their headphones on and look at a big screen and
Yes.
really get into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, you are. And one small remark that firstly we're going to create the game on PC, and in case we get investment or we'll be able to get more money, we will create this game for console,
Oh
for
wow, cool.
PlayStation 4 and for Xbox One. But originally, but firstly, the game will be on PC. It will appear on Steam.
Yeah, no, that's always probably a good way to go. Now, I did a bit of research into Hello Neighbor. I understand you're using Unreal Engine. Is that right?
Yeah, Unreal Engine 4.
Excellent. So, did you choose that, say, over some of the other alternatives like Unity or CryEngine for any particular reason?
Well, our team has just made the market research, and we decided that it will be better to use Unreal Engine 4, as it makes possible to create really big 3D project, both for PC, for console, for PlayStation, for Xbox. That's why we decided to choose it.
Yeah, no, and the graphics look really good as well. I think that's probably one of the big reasons for using something like Unreal Engine 4.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
speaking of the graphics, I was looking at some of the videos, and yeah, the graphics are really pretty. So it is a tactical thriller. So in this game, you play the part of someone who's moved to a neighborhood, and across the road from them, they have a neighbor, and their neighbor has a secret locked in the basement. And your goal is to try and break into that basement, and to do so, you've got to distract the neighbor. But the thing is, the neighbor is looking out for you, he's chasing you, he's setting traps for you. So it sounds like a really simple premise to the game, but looking at what I've seen so far, it's actually quite interesting because of it's so simple. It looks really interesting and really scary. And can you tell me more about how that idea came up, and maybe a bit more about this house that you've got to try and explore?
Yeah, of course. So, well, I should say that the idea firstly came to our game designer. His name is Nikita. By the way, we are going to make a Reddit ask me anything on Thursday, and he will answer all the questions regarding Hello Neighbor and
Oh,
regarding
cool. I'll put a link to
yes.
that in the description.
Yes, yeah, we will have got a link on our Kickstarter page. So
Excellent.
if it's interesting, anyone can ask any question to Nikita. So he firstly he watched a film, The Orphan Black. Have you watched the series?
Yeah, I know about the series about this girl who's a spy
Yes.
and there's clones and all the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this gave off some kind of a first impulse to create such sort of a game. You know that a few words about the series so that we could understand what I'm speaking about. In this series, the main character, woman, is trying to find out, to clear out whether her husband is a spy, and she is looking after him, she is torturing him, and then she realizes that she was mistaken, and starts looking after the woman who is living next door to her, and then she kills that woman. And after killing her, she understands that the real spy was her husband. And Nikita liked some kind of a suspense in this game, that you don't know who is the spy, etc. Then he watched Home Alone series. All of
Yep,
us,
yep.
we were small kids when
Yep.
this series came out. And he also liked the idea of setting traps in the house. And then he decided to create something like Hello Neighbor, where the player never knows what to expect, he never knows what it will be. And of course, he decided that we should make up such kind of artificial intelligence here. So from on one side, the game looks quite simple, but it just looks simple. 80% of the game will be house, a very big house where the neighbor is living. It's some kind of a game universe. There are lots of rooms, lots of silent, not silent, lots of secret doors where the player has to analyze. He has to look everything in this house. He has to to search for a basement door. First of all, he has to find out, and he has to go around all the house to find this basement door. And their player will be controlled, their neighbor will be controlled by artificial intelligence. He will be able to understand, to see everything what the player does. He might set up some video cameras to look after the player, after his movements, after all the tools that he has got in hand, and he will be able to analyze the tactics of the player and to create his own tactics to prevent the player from coming into the basement door. And of course, he will be able to set traps, he will be able to do anything. And what's the most interesting, the player never knows what to expect from the neighbor, and he never knows where the neighbor will be. That's why it makes the game interesting, because any game session is unique, very unique.
No, that does sound very interesting, and it sounds like, from what I was looking at and from what I've been reading, it actually gets harder the longer you play it, because the artificial intelligence learns about what are your favorite pathways through the house, or which doors you like visiting the most, and it'll start setting traps in those areas if it thinks you're going to go that way.
Yeah, this is the most interesting, because without artificial intelligence, it would have been impossible to do such kind of a game. So that's why we decided to implement it. It's not easy. It's not easy because this is our first attempt to work with Unreal Engine 4. We have got something that we don't know there. We have to learn something new. Of course, it's very challenging, but we are working hard to create it.
Yeah, no, it's looking really good. And one of the other things that, besides the artificial intelligence and obviously the beautiful graphics, one of the things that really stood out to me was the sound that I watched in the video. So that to me made it feel really, really scary. So the guy he's hiding there, and then all of a sudden the neighbor walks past and you hear like piano, or you hear something of an orchestra.
Yeah.
And when there's a chase, there's chase music. See, that kind of stuff, I think that really adds to the immersion for the player. And it looks really well put together so far. So I'm really looking forward to see how it turns out.
However, we don't have got the goal to make the player get frightened, to make the player get scared. We just want to put some kind of a horror into this game and to keep the player in suspense, so that it would be
it's less of a horror movie, and it's more of a thriller.
But we don't want to thrill the players, never.
Yeah, you don't want to scare them too much. I mean, it's not like one of those, say, Five Nights at Freddy's or Slender Man, where it's about scaring, or it's not like Silent Hill, for example. It's more about solving the mystery, solving the puzzle, and your intelligence versus the artificial intelligence. Yeah, no, it seems like a really good premise for a game. So you guys, you're on Kickstarter now. In terms of you getting the word out there, I see that you're on Twitter, you're doing interviews, you're like this one, and you're putting out really good videos and really good screenshots. How have you found, just from an indie game developer approach, or from a game developer approach in general, how do you find what is the best way to get the word out there? Or is it through media, or do you really have a strong relationship with your audience, or what do you prefer?
Well, it's our first experience of doing a Kickstarter campaign, so we started almost from nothing. Firstly, we put the game on Steam, and we got a green light maybe in 1 week or 2 weeks, and that was our first community. The players really liked the game. They sent a lot of very positive feedbacks. They really liked the game. We got inspired, and then we started working with this community and giving them more graphics, giving them more information about the game, maybe some videos, screenshots, etc. And we tried to catch some media, to get in contact with them, to show the game to them, to ask them to write some information about them, and they are quite positive. They do yes, they have already they have already done they published some information about the game. They're very positive. We really like that. But we think that it's better to build up a really good community before you start a Kickstarter campaign, because this community are those one who really ready to support you in the first day of the campaign. And yes, firstly, the community, it's very important.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
I think that's
without a doubt.
community. Media is also very important, because media helps you to drive new users, to show your game to more people. But community are those great, awesome people who help you, who give you positive energy, and who support you. And it's really great to have those people who believe in you, who
Yeah.
like what you do.
Totally.
It's
No,
very
it
important.
and it
Yes.
sounds from what I've been seeing on social media and in the news, it sounds like you guys
Yeah.
are really generating a positive vibe. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I look forward to seeing Hello Neighbor. So thank you very much for your time, Elena. It's been wonderful chatting to you, and yeah, best of luck with the Kickstarter.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you very much. Thanks.